This is the Seventh-day Adventist, a Seventh-day Adventist philosophy of music. As I've told you, this was approved in 2004. And if you go to the website of the General Conference, you will see this in the section of their philosophies. All right, so we're starting right away. Okay, in this first paragraph, it says that God has woven music into the very fabric of his creation. When he made all things, the morning stars sang together and the angels shouted for joy. And the book of Revelations portrays heaven as a place of ceaseless praise with songs of adoration to God and the Lamb resounding from all. And these are the verses. So, as Seventh-day Adventists, we believe that God has included music into our system, to our body. That's why we respond to music, and when we listen to music, it has an effect to us because it is part of us. And if you will study the science, if you study science, we understand that everything in our body has rhythm. There's rhythm, like the heartbeat, there's a rhythm, the movement of our blood, and everything has rhythm. And in this first part, we were told that during the creation, the angels, the morning stars, of course, the angels sang and shouted for joy. And this is the proof that music is really, really part or very important to God because it's part of his life, He put it in our being. He woven it into our fabric, into our being. And then the angels sang. And then you can see that in heaven, now, until now, there is continuous praise. So God is a musical God. Praise the Lord. Because God made humans in his image, we share a love and appreciation. That's why, because God is a musical God, then we are his creation, then for sure, we also love music. We appreciate music, right? And we thank God because music can touch and move us. It has a power, right? And sometimes when you listen to beautiful music, you cannot explain what you feel. All you realize was you're lifted, and sometimes we feel, or we like, there's a feeling of we are in the presence of God. All right. So now, but sin came, and the divine image has been marred and almost destroyed, right? And so in all aspects in this world, and God's gifts come to us as a mingling of good and evil. So everything, all the creations of God, the enemy has always a counterfeit. The good things, the enemy can turn into bad things, especially with music. God has gifted us with music. But the enemy can make use of that gift also. We're told that music is not morally and spiritually neutral. It's not neutral, There is always good, there is bad, and there's bad. Some may move us to the most exalted human experience. Some may be used by the prince of evil to debase and degrade us, to stir up lust, passion, despair, anger, and hatred. See, music is really, really very powerful, and it could be used for good, and it could be used for evil. The Lord's messenger, Ellen G. White, is always telling us to raise our sights in music. It means that we look up to music as a gift, and we are told that if this gift, if it is not abused, is a great blessing. But when we use it wrongly, Ellen G. White said, it is a terrible curse. Because rightly employed, according to her, music is a precious gift of God designed to uplift the thoughts to high and noble themes, to inspire and elevate the souls. So the main purpose why God gave us music is to what? To uplift our thoughts to what is good, normal, and elevate our souls. All right? That's a very, very beautiful gift. Now, of the power of songs, she writes, this is very important. Music or song is one of the most effective means of impressing the heart with spiritual truth. That's why it is also important for us as a church to understand how we use, how we use music, because it will impress the spiritual truth, all right? Impress the heart with spiritual truth. Okay? So it says here also that temptations lose their power. Okay, so when we are tempted, when Jesus was on earth, according to Ellen G. White, he was tempted by, bad feeling from friends while he was working in the carpenter shop. But the songs his mother taught him came to his mind, and he started to sing. And those temptations, was just not there anymore. Okay. As a part of religious service, singing is as much an act of worship as is prayer. Indeed, a song is prayer. As our Redeemer leads us to the threshold of the infinite, flushed with the glory of God, we may catch the themes of praise and thanksgiving from the heavenly choir round about the throne. And as the echo of the angel's song is awakened in our earthly homes, hearts will be drawn closer to heavenly singers. Heaven's communion begins on earth. We'll learn here the keynote of its praise. Ellen G. White is telling us through music, we can approach God and we can join the heavenly choir in praising God while he's on his throne. And the angel's song, could awaken us here on earth, while we're on earth, in our homes. And we are drawn closer to God every time we have this heavenly music. Now, as a Seventh-day Adventist, we believe and preach that Jesus is coming soon, right? And in our worldwide proclamation, the three angels' message, we call all peoples to accept the everlasting gospel, to worship God the Creator, and to prepare to meet our soon returning Lord. The Seventh-day Adventists, we exist because we preach the second coming of Jesus. We proclaim to all people, and we invite people to worship God. See? So, if this is our mission, if this is the purpose of our existence, then we must have beautiful, good, and godly music so that we could also preach Jesus. We could share Jesus through our music, especially his coming. Now, we challenge all to choose the good and not the bad, to say no to ungodliness and worldly passion. So this document is telling us to choose good music and not the bad ones. We have to say no to good music. We don't say, okay, it's okay. I think we can use that. No problem. That's the latest one, or what's the anyway, it's not dangerous. No, it's okay. No, 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 no. We have to to test every music using these guidelines. All right? Okay. And of course, while we wait for the blessed hope, the glorious appearing of our great God and Savior, as we wait for him, as we wait for him, we always choose good music. We believe that the gospel impacts all areas of life, right? We therefore hold that, given the vast potential of music for good or ill, we cannot indifferent to it. It means that we have to accept that music could be used for good or for evil or for bad. We need to accept that. We don't we should not say, oh, it's okay. Music is good. Everything is good. No, 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 no. We have to accept that there are music that is not good. While realizing that tastes in music vary greatly from individual to individual, we believe that scriptures and the writings of Ellen G. White suggest principles that can inform our choices. Yes, we realize, we appreciate, we accept that your choice of music might be different from my choice. And Brother A's music is different from Brother C's music. No problem. We have our own taste, we have our own preferences. But as Seventh-day Adventists, we believe that the scriptures and the writings of Ellen G. White has some suggestions, some principles that can or that should what shall I say? That should be considered as we choose music. Remember this? Remember, yeah? We are not saying we should have the same kind of music. No, no, no. We are different people. We have different likes. We have different tastes. Even in our color, in our food, we like many. We don't have not all of the food we like together, but in music also the same thing. But remember, what is our basis? The scriptures and the writings of Ellen G. White. In this document, the phrase sacred music, sometimes referred to as religious music, what? It is music that focuses on God and on biblical and Christian themes. So when we say religious music, or we call it sacred music in general, yeah, these are music about God and about other themes connected to Christian life, Christianity, or biblical truth. It is music intended or composed for worship service. So if we say this is religious music, this is for worship, not for entertaining, not for enjoyment, personal enjoyment. No, 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 no. Sacred music is for the worship of God. All right. And what? For evangelistic meetings. See, what are we going to sing? What kind of songs we should sing in evangelistic meetings? Sacred music, religious music. All right. What else? Private devotion. We will use sacred music because the themes are focused on God. The themes are according to the biblical truth. And of course, we can use both vocal and instrumental music. However, now this is, however, from the General Conference, okay? Not all sacred or religious music may be, okay? Remember that? Not all sacred or religious music may be acceptable for an Adventist. All right. So now I think it's very, very clear that the music that we hear, or maybe sometimes that we perform in our churches during our worship, may be not acceptable for an Adventist. Now, look, sacred music should not evoke secular associations. Now, if you are going to use sacred music for the worship of God, this music should have no secular associations. The lyrics should be all about Bible, about God, about Christian living, There should be nothing about our secular life. The music, the accompaniment, the melody, the harmony, the rhythm should not be associated to worldly music, to the entertainment. This is very, very clear. Or what? music that invite conformity to worldly behavioral patterns of thinking or acting. You see, when we have a sacred music that we call, and then it is associated through entertainment with entertainment. Now, when we sing it as if also we're entertaining, you know, our action, our gestures is also like we are entertaining. The performance style is also entertainment, because the music, the melody, the instruments we use, the rhythm, and the harmony are all associated with the world, with the secular music. So be careful. Adventists should not accept sacred music that has secular associations. Okay, now what is secular music? According to this document, is composed for settings other than worship service. All right, so it's not all about God. It's not all about our service, our worship with to the Lord, or private devotion. It is what? Common issues of life, basic human emotions. You see, so when we sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday, it's not all about worshiping God, but it's about our life's experience, you know, our daily life, you know, our daily experiences. So it comes out of our very being, you know, the secular music expressing the human spirit reaction to life, love. So love songs, we have love songs, and the world in which the Lord has placed us. So every music that does not pertain to the worship of the Lord, our spiritual life, our devotional life is secular, right? It can be morally uplifting, right? Or degrading as well. So we have secular music that can also uplift us, right? There's so many beautiful songs, love songs, and folk songs that are very uplifting. But there are many songs also that are degrading. Although this secular music does not directly praise and adore God, nevertheless, it could have what? Legitimate place in the life of the Christian. So we can listen to secular music. Don't say we should not listen to secular music. We can. It could have a legitimate place. Yeah. We also would like our Seventh-day Adventist members to enjoy the beauty of this secular music. In its selection, the principles discussed in this document should be followed. So here is the General Conference telling us, you know, giving us these principles, and it says we should follow it. This document should be followed. But I don't understand why our churches are not following it. This is from the General Conference. This is already from our highest office. All right? Okay. Now, look. Principles to guide the Christian. This is the Seventh-day Adventist Christians. The music that Christians enjoy should be regulated by the following principles. So, whatever you want, whatever music you enjoy or are going to use, or maybe you're performing it or you're composing it, these are the principles. All right. Number one, all music, religious or secular, that we listen, we perform, or we compose, secular or sacred or secular, will glorify God. All right. That's very, very important. This is the first principle. So 1 Corinthians 10:31. Yeah. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. This is the overriding biblical principle. Anything that cannot meet this high standard will weaken our experience with the Lord. The moment we perform, we listen, we compose music not to glorify God, then one day you will see your relationship with God, your experience with God is weaker. So it weakens. It weakens. Number two, all music the Christian listens to, performs, or composes, whether sacred or secular, should be the noblest and the best. You see, Philippians 4:8. Yeah. First, to glorify God, and second, should be noblest and the best. All right. As followers of Jesus Christ who hope and expect to join the heavenly choirs, we view life on this earth as a preparation for and foretaste of the life to come. That's why we are preparing to join the angels to praise the Lord in heaven. So, here on earth, we need to practice in our music praising God and choosing the noblest and the best. Because when we join the angels in heaven, we will be singing all the time, forever, eternally, what? Glorifying Him in our music and singing songs that are noblest and the best. All right? So we are being prepared for that glorious day to join heavenly beings. Okay, on these two foundations, see, glorifying God and choosing the noblest and the best, they gave us additional principles as we select music as Seventh-day Adventist Christians. And so, this is number 3. It is characterized by quality, balance, appropriateness, and authenticity. Music fosters our spiritual, psychological, and social sensitivity and our intellectual growth. So, what kind of music should we choose? Quality music. Balance. Okay, last time we discussed the balance between melody, harmony, and rhythm. The right balance is we hear more the melody and then we hear the harmony. The harmony is not overpowering the melody, and the rhythm is not overpowering the harmony and not overpowering the melody. It means that the rhythm should not be louder. The rhythmic patterns, the instruments playing the rhythm should not be louder than the melody. But the problem now are songs that we hear, sacred and even secular music, there is no more balance. The harmony is too loud, the rhythm is too loud, and that's the problem. All right. Another one, appropriateness. Okay. Sometimes we sing songs that are not appropriate, especially I observe in the AY program, in the AY worship, afternoon worship, some of the songs I heard are not appropriate for Sabbath. All right. And authenticity, it means original. If it's a Filipino song, it's, we sing. If we are Filipino, when you sing Filipino songs, it's, it's really, really touching to your heart. If you're Malaysian, you sing Malaysian songs, and if you're Indonesian, you sing Indonesian songs, and it's really touching to your heart. All right. Number 4, it appeals to both the intellect and the emotions and impacts the body in a positive way. It is holistic. So the General Conference is telling us to find music, to select music that has this both intellectual and emotional impact in the body. it has an impact, a positive impact in our body. Sometimes our music is too emotional. No, it should be what? We understand it and then we feel it also. It's not always feeling. Listen to music. Oh yeah, it's so beautiful. I can feel it. But sometimes it's too emotional. Yeah, be careful. Because the General Conference telling us that yes, music should both appeal to us intellectually and emotionally. See why? First is intellect, and then the second is emotion, right? And it has a positive effect. It's holistic. Number 4, music reveals creativity in that it draws from quality melodies. All right, this one, you see? Remember that? That's the first session. Quality melodies. If harmonized, if you put harmonization, more notes, it uses harmonies in an interesting and artistic way. And then what? And employs rhythm that complements them. All right? So the one I told you, the balance, you know. So if the song is prayer, do you think you need to put a lot of rhythmic patterns in a prayer? It does not complement, right? All right. So if, for example, you are singing a prayer song, but the harmony is like you are in a party, you are in a gathering that is, I hear this pum 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 or pum 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 pum. See, well, it does not complement to a prayer, to a song that is a prayer. Number 6, vocal music employs lyrics that positively stimulate intellectual abilities as well as our emotions in our willpower. Good lyrics are creative, rich in content, and of good composition. They focus on the positive and reflect moral values. They educate and uplift, and they correspond with sound biblical theology. So our lyrics should have what? Sound biblical theology, right? If it's not biblically true, then forget about it, all right? If it is not, it has, many of the, see, if you check the hymnals, we have beautiful stanzas there, very rich in content. When you sing hymns, actually you are singing the Bible. Because, if you study hymns, every stanza is based on the Bible. If you have the English hymnal, SDA hymnal, you can check at the back of the hymnal the verses where they based the stanza of a particular song. So next to the Bible is your hymnal. Sometimes in our Christian life, like you're like what you feel you don't like to read the Bible. Now, if you have that feeling, sing the hymnal, because you're also reading the Bible, when you sing the hymns, when you sing hymns. Okay. 7, musical and lyrical elements should work together harmoniously. Okay. So the tune, the accompaniment, the notes, and the lyrics should be working together harmoniously. If the lyrics is talking about God, then the music should be reflecting God's character, not the disco, not the entertainment, not the style of the pop music or rock music. No, because what you're saying should be reflected also in the music. All right? To influence thinking and behavior in harmony with biblical values, you see? So when you listen to the lyrics and when you listen to the music, then your thinking and your behavior is influenced, all right, with, you know, biblical values. Number 8, it maintains a judicious balance of spiritual, intellectual, and emotional elements. So the songs that we would like, that the General Conference would like us to choose, are songs that has a balance again, spiritual, intellectual, and emotional. Not only intellectual. You know, there's so beautiful music for concerts, you know, for our intellect, you know. Yes, let's listen to them, you know. But we have also to listen to spiritual music. Yes, we need to listen to emotional also music, but you know, there should be balance. Balance means maybe first is more spiritual, right? And then intellectual, and then not so much of emotional, right? Or do you want more emotional? Emotional above there? No, I think spiritual is on top, intellectual and emotional elements. We should recognize and acknowledge the contribution of different cultures in worshiping God. All right, this is the sometimes or many times this is the issue. In Africa, we have an African here. Virginia was my student in the university, our university there. You know, they have their own, in their culture, they have different style in their worship. Now, we should recognize and acknowledge their contribution to their, you know, in their culture. But we are not going to use their culture style, you know, their music in their worship, and then we say, oh, why the Africans are doing that, so can we do that also? Why are you doing that? You're not an African. All right, you're a Filipino. So what is the best in your Filipino culture when you worship God? Then that is for you. All right. Musical forms and instruments vary greatly in the worldwide Seventh-day Adventist family. So, and music drawn from one culture may sound strange to someone from a different culture. So, music from Indonesia, you know, may be different when we listen to it. In Abu Dhabi, maybe, or in Saudi Arabia, or in Malaysia, or in Africa, they use different instruments as well. And sometimes, as Filipinos, it sounds strange to us, of course, because we are not Kenyan, we are not Malaysian, so it's strange to you. But the General Conference is telling us that we recognize it and we acknowledge the contribution. All right, but that is for them. That is for them. All right. Now, when they come to the Philippines and then they try to sing it to us, then maybe we should recognize it as well, even though we don't like it. Maybe, yeah. But of course, everything should be tested by the guidelines. So, for example, from Kenya, from Virginia, they use this kind of instrument. They use this kind of style of music in their worship as Kenyan. Now, let's check. Is the music sounding secular or sounding religious? All right. Now, if Virginia will come to the Philippines and she will sing in my church, then I will test first. Okay, can you sing, Virginia, your song? And then she sings, and with instruments. Then I will check my guidelines. For me, as a Filipino, yes, we accept it, we recognize it, but it sounds to me, for example, it sounds to me like the world. Can you just do something so that it will not sound like the world? I would recommend that way. Okay, so now The Seventh-day Adventist music making means to choose the best and above all, to draw close to our Creator and Lord and glorify Him. Let us rise to the challenge of a viable alternative musical vision and, as part of our holistic and prophetic message, make a unique Adventist musical contribution as a witness to the world regarding a people awaiting Christ's soon coming. These guidelines were approved and voted by the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists Annual Council on October 13, 2004. Okay, now these are their, what do you call that? References, the sources. These are the sources of this document.